You're on it. You're in it. Bang, bang. Hey, welcome.
Hey, what's
welcome,
good?
everybody. Yo. Very excited. Very happy. Very excited. Today to be able to bring you the Bodycast. Ooh, the Bodycast.
Oh man,
We're back. What's this laundry I have in the shot? It's really not good. Dad, take care of that.
it's okay. I got a whole ass disaster going on back in my dresser over there, so I think you're fine.
I'm in Mike's house.
Not
It's a bar.
not the first time. Former roommates here, so that's a thing.
Dizaster. You and Dizaster. People don't know this. Mike is old school. Has been around.
Oh
since
yeah,
the
absolutely.
WRC's.
I
Sorry, let's start the show correctly.
guess.
That's a way to do it. Welcome everybody to the Bodycast. Bang bang. It's the official podcast for the subreddit r/rap battles. My name is Copacetic, International Cope, and with me today, special guest.
Hi, it's Red Shirt Mike.
Bang bang, the legend Red Shirt Mike. Now, Mike, some people don't know, but you and me, we've been doing this song and dance quite some time.
Oh, absolutely. Since way back, bro.
I remember when you had me on your show with Mike Wild on college radio.
Oh
You
yeah.
guys were even in college at that point. But that's how
Yes.
long ago it was.
Urban Ruckus Radio.
Urban Ruckus.
That was on, or Urban Ruckus was on CIVL radio. Shoutouts to Abbotsford.
Did I go all the way to Abbotsford for that?
Yeah, you went all the way to Abbotsford for that.
Wow. I remember forgetting how far away it was and then not having a ride back or something like that.
Okay, yeah, that happened fairly frequently. There was more than a few times where I was like, we'd finish a show and they'd be like, okay, how am I getting back to Vancouver? I'm like, I guess I can drive you to Surrey and you can SkyTrain it from there. So
that's a whole other city.
That happened with a few people, but
Indeed. So Pathogenic is stepping out this weekend. He's got a lot on his plate. Let's be real. He's got a battle with Ellipsis. Gonna be popping my keys. He's got a battle with Ellipsis coming out, and you know what coming up, and you know what? People don't take that light. Mike, my mom says hi.
Hello, Karen. How's it going?
I love this show. And Dan says hi. What's up, Dan? Bang bang. What's up?
Happy birthday to Dan Madigan.
Happy fucking birthday to Dan.
He just had a battle drop about an hour ago.
Shit.
So if at some point any of you watching, watch the show first, but then Dan's Madigan versus Dewar, which phenomenal.
It's Battle of the Week winner next week, guaranteed.
Oh, awesome. Anything else? I gotta fight you.
Facts. Well, it's the BattleBot who makes the decisions.
No. See, I can't fight BattleBot, but I can fight you and then hold you hostage to force BattleBot to make the right decision.
Well, I trust BattleBot to make the right decision. I feel totally confident.
That's good.
He's my guy. He's my little robot buddy. And so let's continue with this beginning of this show because there's more. r/rap battles is of course the largest online forum for the international culture of battle rap. You can find us on Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, and the official Discord server in the links below. It's the only place for fans to go for battle rap news from around the globe. And just to emphasize what a global show we have. All the way from the west coast of a small nation called Canada. Red Shirt Mike is co-hosting with us today. Just very global. You wouldn't believe the distance between me and Mike right now is
incredible.
It's really...
It really helps reinforce what I've been saying for a while, in that this is by far the most diverse podcast available for anybody.
Yes. Diversity is that's our number one thing. Diversity is this got diversity of thought and then also profitability. Those are our number two things. One and two.
Diversity and profitability. Does that mean one of us is making money and one of us is losing money? Is that what's going on?
Something in that realm is happening. But the podcast prides itself on the being top tier in diversity and international coverage of the battle rap culture. And I think that's an important part, right? It's like we've been covering international stuff in the UK, stuff in Ireland, which is a totally different country, again, stuff in Canada and New Zealand and India and Africa, which is a really great show. Check out last week. They just had a big event, which we'll get into. But it's this show. This is the only show that brings you a high level of quality commentary that the people come to expect. The people who watch the show, also very, very high level, operating very high levels. What would you say about the audience watching the show right now?
They are second only to people who watch Set the Bar Battles. So shout outs to them.
It's very, very tough. Those the tippy top.
Yeah, absolutely. Tough, tough, and that's a very hard bar to get on top of.
And if people don't know, also, I'm like kind of jack of all trades. One of the greatest promoters of all time, one of the greatest battlers of all time. Mike is one of the greatest rappers of all time, one of the greatest battlers of all time. You're not just like random people with a podcast. We're like the best people that could speak on these things. Speaking on these
absolutely.
And you're here with us because you recognize it, the high level of. All right, enough of that.
What? No, you don't want to draw out the awkward bit for another 10 minutes? We could go. We could keep going.
Well, we don't want it to get too stupid in here. Because if we were to really bring this experience to the next level of understanding and appreciation, what you'd want to do is grab your brew or your beer. Maybe you've got one or two things to fear. But join us now, me and our inscrutable peers.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right?
Inscrutable peers, let's go. That is,
I feel we're very inscrutable. I use that often. And join us now for the community cheers. Hey, cheers.
Hey.
Our subscriber, our YouTube subscriber, Karen, asks, where are you not covering that you'd like to? Where are we covering? You know what? I would love to be covering personally more of the South America, more of the Mexican stuff. I think there's so much going on there, and it's just not in English. We're covering all the English stuff. It's the non-English speaking stuff is massive.
That's always a tough one. I wanted to come up here and talk about it's really cool to see Haraya Battlegrounds. Shout outs to Xavier. They've got some Tagalog battles happening over there, even just over in Ottawa.
In Ottawa, Tagalog.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And that's
and yeah, I mean, it's such a. I was talking to Willie about this the other day, and it's just battle rap itself is so oriented towards. It's perfect for evolutionary biology, young males fighting for, and females fighting for status, hierarchy inside of the.
As much as I hate when people battle rap is a sport, because it's not. I think the one place where that comparison really works is battle rap satisfies that same sporting urge of
yes,
to head-to-head competition, butt heads, see who can win. And in that way, I think it's truly something that basically any culture, any language,
Right?
anybody can really appreciate that level of it. Sure,
Sure.
like, you know, we stack on layers of bullshit as far as like, yo, like if you're not a Battle fan, you're probably not going to get some of the more complex wordplay, so you may have a weird idea of who won. But and that's why I think like we go off the rails sometimes. But at its core, that head to head, you know,
I don't know what you're talking about. Off the rails? Never once have I been
yeah.
off the rails.
Oh, and judging in general has just never ever gone off the rails.
In fact, I'm mostly known for how good my judging is. And yeah, what's up, Quadre? Quadre's in the house, and we are definitely going to talk about the fun that happened last weekend.
Last night.
Yeah, fun for some people.
That looked chaotic.
Pain for others. But yeah,
let me just say real quick on the judging thing, though.
Oh,
I had a lot of fun when that was happening, somewhat at your expense, but not entirely at your expense. So here's the thing. Obviously you caught a lot of flack from some West Coast guys, and
for being great.
We could go on for a while, but at the end of the day, like we all know, nobody's ever going to be happy with judgments, whatever. So
that's
like,
why I signed up.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's a no-win job, and like these motherfuckers are not giving you like the credit for that at all, knowing that it's a no-win job. But beyond that, it's also like, yo, you guys are just catching up to the fact that Cope is a terrible judge. We've been making fun of him for this for like 5 years now. You freaking dorks.
This is a flex.
Yeah. Sorry about that, bud.
You know that. Yeah, I am definitely have some notoriety in Vancouver, we'll say. But
true.
I did have a large say in all of the smoked out title matches. So take
and you made a couple wrong decisions. I'm not gonna lie.
100% correct every time. See, it's a subjective art form, and that's why we invented the BattleBot, so you can decide
absolutely
human bias, what is right and what is wrong. What does the BattleBot say about copacetic being right? Oh, what's that? He's in repairs right now. He's just gonna speak to me and me alone. Oh, he's copacetic's right all the time. That's what he says. He says copacetic's right all the time. Huh, that's weird.
Who am I to argue with BattleBot?
Right? Really? It's computers. But yeah, let's get into it, because I mean, shit. I don't have a plan for this episode. We're just gonna shoot the shit. So King Bao, if you don't know BAU, it seems like an absolute enormous shit show. Is another example of somebody coming into the culture with a lot of money and assuming that they can just put on a huge card. And I think that there was rightfully a lot of skepticism before this was announced. Hell, we as mods didn't know whether or not we should put up a discussion thread because we didn't know if the event was going to go down or not.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's a high amount of skepticism, and you can't predict the future. Nobody knows when there'll be a some kind of like, whether it's a Nakia situation or it's a Teddy Grizzle situation, you can't predict it. You want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
I actually think you can completely. I think you can completely predict it. I think like.
But you would say that afterwards. You would say that afterwards. You say, "I predicted that." No, you guessed and you were right.
We've had like we've got enough data points at this point where
quite a few.
The reason like Massacre and like Nakia worked out was he was teaming up with people who were already doing this.
Facts.
Like obviously I've never put on like a Massacre type like level show, but even at local leagues doing fairly well, like at that level, there is a lot of weird intricacies to throw in battle rap events. And if you're not partnering with people who have done that, like you and I have both seen how crappily run, local shows can be without needing to deal with, pay-per-views and all these extra things on top of it.
We've seen the top and we've seen the bottom for sure.
Yeah, so I think like at the end of the day, it's if you've got someone coming in saying, "Hey, we're gonna make this, we're gonna revolutionize the space," but there's nobody who's been involved with the space, I think like that's that event failing is one of the safest bets you can make.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Let's say that there's safe bets and definitely educated guesses that come from a lot of experience. You hold out hope that we'll be proven wrong and somebody will come in and be super competent and have a good event and pay the artists what they deserve and give the fans what they want. You can dream.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's what it is. It's a dream. You know what I mean?
Definitely
Like,
don't put money on it. I know that Organic was tweeting about it. I don't like everybody's watching to see this fucking enormous. So basically what did happen? We had a card, maybe what, 5-6 battles, like good battles. RX versus Jazz the Rapper, T-Top versus fucking Twerk, I think. Like,
yeah.
it was a fucking decent card. And what, did nobody show up? Did nobody get paid? What, do you know anything about what happened?
So I don't know about like that level of behind the scenes, but what I do know is they advertised a phenomenal pay-per-view. And then of the 5 battles that were on the card, only 3 happened, and only 1 actually made it to the live stream. So people spent like $30 US to see who is Ace battling. It's my understanding that was the only battle that actually made it to the live stream because they were having problems with the live stream, which again comes down to like, I get that you're trying to do this with your team, but maybe don't jump in to the deep end right away if your team isn't capable of doing these things, if you don't know the various intricacies of running these events.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet. So fucking enormous crash and burn. Did you see what he was wearing? Oh my god, he was getting ripped.
Oh man, who's it? Automatic Ray had a thread that it was like him and Ness and a few other guys just going in on this on King Bao, and yeah, that was a weird. I think the one that got me was like he's dressing like TV writers in the '80s thought Japanese gangs looked like.
LOL, that's a good one.
Jamming Zion.
In the subreddit, user Monday says this is what an undercover cop would wear to infiltrate the gay techno scene.
All right, yeah, I see it. I see that. That's amazing.
He looks like an extra in the fucking Matrix movie that didn't make it in. Some shit. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. That's
a good one too. Yeah, absolutely.
I think the thing is, he's extremely talented at getting attention. Just maybe he's not extremely talented, but he seems very talented at getting attention because he's got a lot of attention. But maybe that's the extent of his abilities. Time will tell. Yeah. It seems that way. So let's move on to more positive things because King Bao and this obvious attempt at laundering money through a Battlerap event is.
We've addressed the shit show. Now let's talk about the boring successes.
Yeah, get rid of this exciting tire fire. What are we talking about? Announcements this week? Oh my god, a bunch. We're just gonna go through this like top to bottom instead. Usually I like to like move from country to country so we cover all the different things, but I don't really know what I'm doing today, so we're just gonna fucking run.
Perfect. Let's hear them.
Okay. Briefly. iBattle is doing a big card takeover 5, and they announced JC.
Farrell versus JC.
Farrell versus JC.
That is exciting.
So I don't know what you think about this, but Farrell is fucking great, obviously.
Yep.
And it go. But I saw that match and I thought that could be anyone. Like it could be Farrell versus anyone, and I would be hyped. And in fact, I'm not 100% sure JC can do anything to him.
I mean, I think like in iBattle especially, Farrell has this sort of bulletproof aura. But at the same time, like maybe JC's gonna put on a show, like that's gonna be great. But like I think JC, obviously if Farrell's coming back, you want a really motivated, really hyped up Farrell. As far as like good opponents that are gonna kill it, that are gonna motivate you to be like at your best in a comeback, you gotta think JC's like that guy.
Right. So JC's more of a carrot at the end of the stick. He's there to entice Farrell to like give a good battle.
Yeah, like JC's dope, and like I would love to see JC live, absolutely. But I think like in this specific context, he is booked as a carrot to make
cool.
Exactly. I think that's a smart move.
I'm not mad to see another Farrell battle. That's for sure.
Absolutely.
But you know what? I'll say this. And I'll fucking eat my sock if I'm wrong. I won't do that. If JC like says some shit, if JC is dope and they have that's gonna be a fucking great battle. It's gonna be a classic. I don't know where this is gonna come from, but I would really love for that to be a really tight match. Oh yeah, shit. Beast Mode had an event. We're gonna go there. We did a little bit of the US. We're doing a little bit of the US. We're gonna go to RBE
right now. We're doing the announcements right now. We'll talk about battles that just happened after.
Right. I don't know why I'm hating on JC. I'm a big JC fan. I've always been a big JC fan. But all of a sudden, for some reason, I see this matchup and I think, oh, this is fucking body bag. Okay. No.
I don't even think it's hate. I think like if this battle happened anywhere but iBattle, it would be, oh, dope. JC's giving somebody a shot. That's awesome. But I think like
really, you think that? You don't think that E Farrell has like a standing in the battle rap community that goes beyond like URL and shit like that? Like,
no,
like, I mean, he's international. He's so many great battles overseas.
And like, this is not a shot at E Farrell at all.
Right.
But like I think anywhere outside of iBattle, JC will get more love than E Farrell.
Oh, that's so interesting because he's just. Farrell's like he's battled Daylyt. He hasn't.
No, I'm not saying Farrell's a slouch, but like JC has been like a consistent crazy name. No, you're not crazy, but like he's not like at the Lux level, but like JC's been a guy who's been talked about in the upper echelons of battle rap consistently for like at least a decade.
Okay, yeah. So I just want to hear some cool shit. I don't want to hear fucking real talk rounds. I don't want to hear fucking forced wordplay. I want to hear some cool, like that's the thing. When I tune into an E Farrell battle, I know what I'm getting. I'm gonna hear some fucking punches I've never heard before. I'm gonna hear some like
young slush puppy. I'm one cold son of a bitch.
Man, shit that's gonna connect in ways that don't normally connect, that you never thought of before. Like, and with JC, I don't feel like I'm not expecting that. I'm like hoping he has a good solid 3 rounds, but I'm not expecting him to like blow my mind.
Oh, I'm expecting him to kill it. I'm expecting this to be a great battle. I'll say that.
Cool. Sick. Okay, let's move on. RBE is doing Divide and Conquer 2. They announced Big K versus Moog. That was the big one. We talked about that last week. And then ILL versus
Big K 3-0. The dog strikes again. Let's be honest here.
We'll see. Well, everybody thinks that, but that's the whole point about Moog is that he makes his opponents do poorly for some reason.
Yeah, which is hilarious, but it's also doesn't make for great viewing. You know what I mean?
We'll see if Big K is immune to his powers. I think there's a intrigue there, regardless.
Okay.
ILL versus King Los. ILL. It's the best podcast ever.
Oh, absolutely.
Versus King Los, Charlie Clips versus Frozenberg, and just announced a couple hours ago is Chef Trez versus Show Off.
Ooh.
So it's like a solid RBE card.
Okay. I actually really like Trez versus Show Off.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I don't know how that works. Somebody was saying in the comments as well on the subreddit that Chef Trez just signed a contract with URL, didn't they? I'm sure that they figured that out.
I mean, I'm assuming that if they've announced it, they figured that out. And I also would assume that like a contract doesn't supersede a previously agreed to battle. So if this was set up before the contract was signed, then he's got to meet those obligations. So
okay, cool. Yeah, there's so much conjecture about what's happening behind the scenes, but I think that for the most part, a lot of it is adults.
Yeah,
adults planning stuff and making sure that they don't run into each other.
Which is wild because if you've ever planned a battle rap event, adults is probably the last word I would use to describe half the people I have to interact with.
Yeah, well, I mean, you definitely think about the environment that you're operating in.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We're talking about the 1% here, like fucking 1.5%. But they exist and they're at the top and they're running shit. And
absolutely.
And so shouts out to them. I think it looks like a good solid RBE event. So
yeah, that's gonna be great. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
It's not blowing me out of the water. It's not like, oh wow, this is the greatest RBE event ever. They got Mook versus Big K. They got Charlie Clips versus Rosenberg Rock. Like, okay.
I mean, to be fair, I think like Trez versus Show Off is the first announcement they've made that from this card that I don't think is gonna end up being a blowout.
Oh, you think? Oh yeah, fucking Ill Will is gonna beat the shit out of King Los, right? Yeah, I've never seen.
Los is gonna die, and I've just got this feeling that like Clips is back. You know what I mean? And I feel like I don't know. I've got this feeling that Rosenberg's gonna fucking die.
Don't let Soul hear you say that.
Don't let who's?
Spicy shit. Soul.
Does he watch?
He's very anti-clips. They had the whole thing on it last week where he was.
Okay, I missed that. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Hylas? My guy. Thanks for jumping in, bud.
What up, Hylas?
Yeah, no. So I think you're right, but
That's the thing. I would still watch this card. Like if there was like a watch party or something like that, I would definitely be like interested. So that's
okay.
And I think also like as battle fans, it's weird. I don't know if you've had the same thing. I'm actually very curious. Because this was actually something I meant to hit you up about when I saw you in Nanaimo the other week, and we just didn't talk about this one. But I feel like we got so spoiled with a bunch of the big name cards on that. And so, like, I still, to this point, like, I get more excited when I'm like, yo, this up-and-comer's getting a good look. This is amazing. Then when it's, like, phenomenal back-to-back big names. You know what I mean? Like, it takes something ridiculously good to, like, get me super hyped about a big-name card at this point. And it's just sort of weird.
All of them. This is going to be a great transition for us. Because you want that as a promoter. You want both. So, like, if I may... Stay forever, fucking 10 out of 10. You got the biggest fucking names. You got that absolute, mind exploding big names. And you've got, I want to see XQZ versus Pathogenic a lot. I want to see that a lot. I want to see Franchise versus Saint a lot. Like the undercard is exciting and builds its own narrative. And then on top of that, the secret battles, which we'll get into.
Absolutely. The one thing I'll say about the stay event, though, as I said, phenomenal 10 out of 10 event. But usually with like big name, like often when they're just matched up, it's like, okay, there's no story to this, and that's weird. With stay, like because Pat was one of those guys who was fucking everywhere and everybody loved him. The stories wrote themselves no matter, like that card could have been entirely different, and half of the stories would have been the same because it's based on how like people are having their matchups based on how they interacted with Pat. You know what I mean? So like I think like while Stay Forever was amazing, part of the reason it was amazing was because there are these built-in stories circling around Pat, and so I think it's
okay, that's a fair point.
Yeah,
that's a fair point. But we're arguing about the same thing. We both love
absolutely.
We love it when the battle events are good. Is basically the takeaway. Man.
Yeah, that's fair.
I love when they're good.
That's like the most like nerdy argument ever. Is we're arguing with the same thing, but no, I want my very specific niche to be validated.
I'm all over that too. Like if we could just do development cards, that shit is. That's fine.
Well, we're announcing one for Set the Bar in May, so we've got a cool little development card.
If people don't know, Redshirt Mike is the owner operator of Set the Bar Entertainment in Vancouver, Canada, which is the premier battle rap league in Vancouver and
in the world. Let's be
in the world. Sorry, I don't want to say Vancouver. and they've got a big event coming up in April. Some of the best in Canada, two of the best in Canada versus Ellipsis, and the rest of the card is really dope and fire too. And we'll get into that too. At the end.
Sure.
But while we're here, let's pop over the pond real quick and then jump back. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Quick little jaunt across the Atlantic.
Just to see what's happening in the United Kingdom and Ireland.
So I hear that Matter is getting a very big look.
Oh shit. We're going straight into Don't Flop. Cool. Yeah. You know what's really exciting is this is a fun little card. Don't Flop Don't Flop announced their whole lineup for the rest of the year, which is really super ambitious and really cool. And it's nice to see them, active and putting into having fun events and doing stuff. They got the April Fool's event in May, and then this little card at the end of April, which is 4 battles so far. I think these might be looking to book another battle there for Lefty or somebody else might be jumping on. But
sure,
4 battles and they're all 1-rounders. Man, it's cute card. Check it out. It's called One of These Days. Don't Flop. I will be headlining versus Matter, which is a surprise to me. You know what? I book battles sometimes. Like I was like, do you
Yeah.
want my fucking headshot, or do you like I have promo? And they're like, no. And the flyer comes out, and you're at the top, and you're like, oh shit, I'm fucking.
You know what it was, right?
They
It was the
had a bunch of.
headshot. It was the headshot. The headshot's what sold them on making it the main event.
It's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah,
It's what it is for the most
absolutely.
part. And then they didn't use them. And and yeah, so like shocked to learn that I was headlining versus Matter, but super grateful, and obviously it's a really cool little card. Like
Yeah.
my co-headline is Dialect and Black Tea, and like fucking awesome. I'm a huge Black Tea fan. I'm an enormous Dialect fan, and this is him coming out of retirement. Because Daylyt, if you don't know, he was actually a silent member of the IJC. He was a
Oh, cool.
yeah. He never got around to judging any of the battles, but he was in there. And we had a lot of UK representation in the IJC. It just didn't always work out. But man, just enormous respect for Daylyt and the hustle and the contributions that he's given to UK battle rap over the years. I feel like he's super underrated. And now he's back. For a
So,
one
wait,
rounder.
you said was. Did he leave the IJC? Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, the IJC is kind of. I don't want to break any news, but I'd be shocked to see if. I mean, who knows? Anything's possible. But the IJC is kind of on hiatus until.
Some other tournament needs you.
Right? It's sort of like a Superman thing. When you need judges,
I will be there. Yeah.
we will be there. But oh my mercy. And then Lazy versus somebody. Fuck, I should know. I'm on this card. Lazy
probably
versus.
should.
Oh, Lazy versus fucking. Who is it? Some guy is on this card. And then Kennel versus Danny Jack, which would be really funny and fun.
Yeah, that's gonna be a really fun card. You're gonna enjoy the hell out of that.
Free Will. Oh my god, Free Will. Love Free Will. Will's guy.
Those are all one rounders.
Yeah, so it should be fun. It's a different format. Like obviously, there's something different to performing a one rounder than 3 rounds. I think it offers certain advantages, some disadvantages, but it's really like Ellipsis and I were talking about this, and there was a big argument online on Twitter because Shotty Horroh was like, "Oh, I don't like one rounders," which is possibly because he knew this event was coming up, and him and are like doing this right now.
Sure.
But the question is, like, are one rounders good or not? And I don't think that's the question at all. I think the question is, how do you execute, right? Like, who's doing it?
So I think like if we were to really dive into this shit, there are styles of battling that lend themselves more to one rounders, and there are styles that don't. I think if a one round battle is less competitive to me, in that it's not back and forth, and it feels like that tug of war. A one rounder is more of a I do my thing, you do your thing, let's compare. You know what I mean? Like, so which is a bit of a different vibe, and I feel like for guys like you and Matter, I think a one rounder makes more fun because you are presentation, you are performance, you are like, hey, let's rile people up and let's have some fun with this.
Yes.
Whereas like, if you took
That's
two guys that are on some constant like, I'm fucking better than you, like I would want that to be a 3-round battle.
Right. Yeah, and like I guess anything can work, but it has to work. I think that's the thing is, oh shit, sure, yeah, mate. Anything can work, but you have to play with the format and take advantage of the extra time that you get in the round. You don't want to become stale. Definitely, it has to be an ebb and flow to it, dynamism, and man, fuck. I don't know. All I know is that I'm watching Matters battles, obviously, because for prep. And I like to do that. I don't care if that makes me a nerd. I like to fucking know my opponent so I can give them a really good battle. And man, his fucking last few battles have been so good. It's like I'm watching the first battles when he sucked, and I was like, oh man, I gotta beat this fucking guy. And he's fucking This is like
Yeah.
fucking grind time days. It's like nobody was good back then. And then you just slowly see him get better and better and better. And his last few battles in particular, just so funny, saying the funniest fucking shit. And just his rhyming, everything he does is really, really top tier. So I'm really excited for this battle. I'm a huge Matter fan, and I'm going to give it the best that I can.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
It is time for the live action debut of the Smooth Brain skit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There should be some sort of antics, right? Fucking
absolutely.
They love antics.
Yeah, it's there is no better way to make a first impression on an entirely new country than antics.
Yes, or imitating their accent. Could do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Poorly, do a poor job of that. So it would be fun. Definitely keep an eye out for that. Don't flop. This is just their next event, but they've got another event after this called April Fools, which I expect to be very, very silly. They're on a more fun tip. That's what they're doing right now. And then yes, Premier Battles has dropped their full undisclosed 8 card. Wow, now I'll say that 10 times fast. Has dropped their full undisclosed 8 card, including the headliners Mackenzie versus Unanimous, and a bunch of other good battles. I think some of these are going to be for the teams, so they're going to get points. These are teams versus teams. They battle each other to get points. It's cool. It's a cool system. And then Graza versus DARPA is one of the matches on that card that I really like because DARPA's the guy. Shouts out to him. And Giz versus Cobra Commander, which would be super fire. I like to see Giz. I think he's a really talented guy. And Cobra Commander apparently smashed it versus Young Crumpet at the last Premier Battles event. I don't know if you heard about that.
No.
Young Crumpet, and they're talking battle of the year. Like, this is the most amazing battle.
Okay.
Young Crumpet. Oh man, he's a talented guy. He's kind of a legend.
Yeah, that's true. We'll have to watch that.
Shouts out to him. Yeah, no, definitely. When it drops, I gotta see it. And
make sure you link me when it comes out.
1,000%. And then obviously there's the undisclosed 8, and then at the end of the summer, I think they're doing undisclosed 10, and this is the big one with O'Shea and Solcon, and they announced Shovel T versus Harry Baker.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. That's good. The only way that battle could get whiter though is if you somehow made it hosted by Carter Deems.
Right.
But that is gonna be a very fun battle.
Yeah, Harry Baker coming out of retirement, just like Dialect. It's very similar. But Harry Baker was a force in the UK scene probably 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago. But he was an up and comer. It was like that guy Juan. Do you remember Juan?
Yeah.
So many up and comers, man. It's devastating to think about. But
there was a time when the UK scene looked like it was going to be sort of about the
tall, awkward white guys.
Yeah.
Like Harry Baker, Juan, and Lazy. It was all going to be all guys like this. And
I was reading the comments for a second, and I got some shit to say. Shout out Tyler's, by the way. But I'm up north and can't travel to London, so I'm stoked Unan versus Mackenzie got moved to Manchester. Now, I respect that.
Manchester.
But
Baby.
As a guy in Vancouver, in a country that has a whole lot of fucking nothing between our cities.
We got a lot.
Anytime I hear anybody from another country talk about, man, the travel time to get from here to here, and you look at it, it's like by train, it's like it's 3 hours.
Like, come on, Hylas, you could walk.
Yeah, right. Like it's one of those things. Like,
come on, Hylas.
You and I have both driven to like Medicine Hat. Like you know what I mean? Like. Which is disgusting. Like we pretend that place doesn't exist now, but like
first class flight.
The 15-hour road trip for rap battles is not an uncommon story out here. And so anytime I'm always so
I don't know
jealous.
what he's talking about.
I'm always so jealous of like UK fans in general, like UK or Ireland. So I'm like, you're so close. Like 2 hours by train, and you can get from one side of the place to the other. It's
the smallest country. I think the size of the United Kingdom is literally the size of Vancouver Island. Like it's just really, really, really small.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like, oh man.
London, I could walk around London in a half an hour. So yeah, so figure it out, Hylas. You get no sympathy over here from us.
Respect, but not sympathy. I guess.
I think there's some issues with their trains as well. I don't know what's going on there, but I think there's a lot of politics and stuff. You know how it is. You're not allowed to walk. You're not allowed to. You got to go by carriage.
Politics in a country. That's a
it's
a shock.
I know, right? It's killing us. But yeah, no. Really exciting. A couple of undisclosed announcements, and then of course, Shuffle versus Shotty Horroh dropped today. So it's not.
Man, I still gotta watch that. I saw like 5 minutes before we started. I saw that it was posted, but I haven't had a chance to watch it yet.
Yeah, I'm like halfway through it, and it's so good. It's so good. Like it's such a great battle, and it's interesting to see Shotty Horroh do battling. I don't know if he's going to do more than one a year or what his deal is, but he only had the one last year versus Tally.
Hey man, even if it's one a year, that's dope. I'll take it.
But also, like it's like how sharp is your sword? Like if you're only flexing once a year, you sort of have to. I think it's double-edged sword. I think it's like yes, you're going to provide something maybe a little more unique to. A little more outside of battle rap, maybe there's an influence of something outside of battle rap. That's what I think. But if you're in it and you're in the culture and you're battling all the time, you're sort of like at the cutting edge of references and styles and techniques and stuff like that. So please,
I think it can definitely work like both ways, and I don't think there's a definitive way in which. We know
when I watch him though, like I'm thinking like this is a motherfucker who didn't battle since last year, and battles in front of people who are very receptive to him as well, which is also really different than
fair
traveling everywhere and battling. So I really loved it. I feel like when a battler is comfortable, they have their best performances, and so both of them looked really really comfy. Looked like they were having a lot of fun. I think that translates.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, definitely amazing battle. Sythe is so good and so funny.
Yeah,
like he's really funny, but he's technically very brilliant. We know he's technically brilliant, and we know he's funny. But I think that's battle rap too. Like that's fucking battling, And I think that a lot of the angles for Shotty was, you're here appropriating the culture. You're not like. From the fucking hip hop like me, I'm a hip hopper. You're a fucking nerd, and when I think about battle rap, I think that's what it is, man. This is fucking nerd shit to like roast your opponent and make your opponent look bad and look silly, and I don't care how nerdy you are. His efficacy off the charts. He makes you look silly. He makes you look a little bit silly.
Yeah,
and that's kind of the point, So I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to watch it. That's all I can really say.
Right. Hard to talk to you. Tell me what you thought about the battle you didn't see.
Well, I'm gonna flip a coin. I had no coin. I just faked a coin flip for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
Hey.
There's a coin flip. Oh yeah, no, Shotty 3-0. There we go.
Shotty 3-0. Nice. How much did he pay you? So then the other battle that dropped. There are a couple battles I wanted to talk about that are up battle of the week. But obviously, the big one that is probably going to win Battle of the Week, most likely.
G-Show versus Chronic Walters.
G-Show versus Chronic Walters, yes.
Absolutely.
It dropped this week on Set the Bar. If you haven't seen it, G-Show, amazing. Chronic Walters, super dope. Love both those guys.
Absolutely.
But actually, it's the secret battle from King of the Dot.
Yes.
Dizaster versus Hollohan. Oh my God. Where were you? You were in the venue. Where were you when that was happening? Can you relate to everyone your experience?
Yeah, sure. So I was about 3/4 of the way towards the back. For most of it, I was just sort of chilling with friends. Various like friends from Ontario. I'm like, I'm not trying to force myself up to the front of this. Like,
necessary.
You know what I mean? I'm like, they've got the sound figured out. We good. And the rumors started going around about 10 minutes before the battle started. And people didn't see Diz, but they're like, yo, someone saw Hollohan fucking like running bars.
Yeah.
And They're like,
That's so
yo,
funny.
okay, so like Hollohan's about to battle. That's what's gonna happen.
Mhm.
And I remember like someone told Jay, like Jay Bly, shout outs to Comp. And I remember he's running inside like, dude, Hollohan's about to battle. And so like there's a whole bunch of us, some of the beast mode guys and Comp and a couple others were like, yo, who do we think? And like I'd actually said like, yo, like wouldn't it be crazy if it was Diz? Like I think it might be Diz. Like I
It
didn't
could
know.
be.
I'm just like, but that would be not like that. Like that
But it
seems
couldn't be.
like, you know what I mean. But
He's
the one
injured.
thing
He's got the surgery.
yeah, exactly. Diz did a really great job of fucking selling that. By the way, that was phenomenal. But I was like, yo,
I think it was. I think that's the thing, though. It's like, sorry, like knowing
no,
what happened
I know
behind the
it pushed
scenes.
back, and
It's
like
like,
that's why.
yeah. It's
But
like,
he was still
oh, so
selling like up until the day before. Like, yo, I wish I could fucking be there. You know what I mean?
nice. Yeah.
So like that was like, but I'm like, yo, I still got this feeling like I think it's Diz. And like that being said, it was still when that happened, and they did the fucking Phil Collins in the air tonight, the countdown with that, and like even though I'm like, yo, it has to be Diz, but like, because also like knowing Gannick's not gonna put fucking. And no shade here, but he's not gonna put Hollohan versus Step Easy as a fucking surprise battle.
Right.
And like I love Step, but like as an example, he's gonna
Yeah,
want
yeah.
someone big.
Yeah.
And knowing like, okay, you know,
Like
he
even
could
Hollohan
possibly
versus
come to-
B Dot would not be like Hollohan versus B Dot, and everyone would be like,
that would be a very. By the way, I entirely want to see that battle for all the wrong reasons because you know, like there's like a 50% chance it's going shit show really quick.
amazing.
But regardless, I'm like, yo, I think, but even like when we're talking, like, yo, it's probably Diz, but this is gonna be awesome. Like when they did that reveal and they come out and like you've obviously seen that fucking iconic photo of, you know, Diz, yeah, and like Gannick just fucking screaming out, and like, you know, that moment was so hype. Even knowing that it was like not knowing, but even though it was a battle that we're like, yo, I think this is the one.
Yeah. I was trying to like think about what to do in that moment because I, you know, knew about the secret battles and my work was sort of petering out. At the end of the night, there was less work to do. You know, in the middle of the event, there's still a lot of stuff going on.
Absolutely.
But near the end of the event, I was just sort of like sitting back and yeah, I just watched people. I just like sort of took a step back as the announcement, as the clock was playing down, and I just watched the faces of these people who just like their brain chemistry is just being altered permanently. They're just you know, just and the emotions and it just how much it felt like the most important battle to happen at that time. It wasn't just that it was a secret battle. It wasn't just that it was these big names. It was that it was these people who were Pat's friends, who had something to say, who had to be there for Pat's event. You know, it's like that, the emotion of that. And they nailed that all weekend. But really, that event and that battle, it felt like the culmination of everything that the Stay Forever event was supposed to encapsulate.
And to echo something I was saying earlier, I think like that storyline of, yo, like these are two of Pat's closest, like, you know, closest Battlerap friends. This battle only works at that level and generates that much of hype on this card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the fact that it's just this confluence of things came together, it created a really fucking special moment.
Yeah, it has.
And that's awesome.
Yeah, no, totally. Just great on playback. You know, when you watch it back on YouTube here this week, it just everything holds up. You know, and everybody gets to share in that moment, which is it was sort of like,
yeah. One thing I'll say that I thought was really crazy about this battle, I thought like Diz was Diz and Diz was great. I know people like to hate on Diz. I'm not part of the Diz hate train. I think Diz is dope.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes he like wanders a little bit, but like this was amazing. But Hollohan like impressed me because he started out like you could see the rust, and you know he adjusted real fucking quick. You know, as far as like his performance and all that, like he figured it out on the fly within a minute and a half, in front of 700 people after having not done it for 8 years.
Yeah.
Like that is incredibly challenging to do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that
and
was
the pressure, and like the thing we were talking about the Stay Forever event too, is that all of these rappers and all these people who knew Pat were really, really close to him.
yeah.
That was 5 months ago. That wasn't a lot of time to like
Yeah.
deal with the grief of your friend passing, and then
Yeah.
to have to perform, and then to, like I can't even imagine the mental and physical obstacles necessary for this battle to happen. Just
Absolutely.
incredible. So I think that it's unanimous in the subreddit as well. This is Battle of the Week winner. Shouts out to
That's fair.
A Ward versus Kitchen Clean on GTX, which dropped this week. Arsenal versus Super Black. Arsenal is back. Hey, on Bullpen Battle League. Shotgun
Nice.
Shows versus Danger Zone dropped on DNA's channel.
Wait, dropped on DNA's channel?
Yeah, so part of the thing with this battle is it was like some scheduled for the app, but because DNA manages these artists, Danger Zone, Zetro the Great, I think.
Okay.
Z the Dropout, different guy.
Yeah.
And like a few other battlers, then he negotiated with URL to have these battles drop on his channel, which is cool. Fucking good.
Okay.
So yeah,
that's interesting. There's been a lot of chat lately about YouTube drops versus whatever else, and I think that's pretty cool.
I mean, it's an ever evolving thing, and I think it's going to continue to evolve. But definitely,
well, also I think like with YouTube crowds being so starved for URL content, I think DNA using that as an opportunity to both build his guys up and build his channel up. I think that's incredibly smart. I like that.
Yeah, that's good. That's good insight. iBattle did Archduke Red Cat versus Black Mage is a good battle. Nox versus Nakim the Prophet, which is 3 rounds. This is 1 round, and the Archduke one is 3 rounds. Reverse Live versus The Kid Clutch also dropped. GTX dropping battles. Love it.
Nice.
Rosenberg Raw versus Jag dropped on RBE, which is really great. Back and forth. They arrow out all the stuff between Jag and, Rosenberg Raw is sort of like the RBE guy, and Jag had all that controversy last year with no showing and all this stuff. So that's a really fun, intense battle. 3 rounds back and forth. I really like that one. Miss Hustle versus Shuni the Rapper from Chrome 23 dropped. Danny Myers versus News from the Battle Academy. Woof. Raptor versus Koj from Premier Battles dropped. I don't know if you saw that one. Did you see that one?
I did not know.
Raptor versus Koj is like a sequel because they were like the reason that the teams didn't work the first time. Like the teams did work the first time. They worked too well, and they got really, really heated and really intense, these rivalries between these teams. And so they had this match between Raptor and Koj years ago now. And there was a little bit of cocaine involved.
I'd say, as tends to happen.
And there was a lot of fanfare and a lot of, my team's better than your team. Let's have a fight. That's how they do it. Let's have a fight. They're Australian now. And the match got canceled. And
they really bring that soccer riot energy everywhere, don't they?
Right. It's really
obviously you have to call it soccer while you're over there. You know that, right?
It shouldn't be dangerous at all. Yeah, no, exactly. You guys like soccer, huh? So then it sort of shut things down, and the venues didn't want the fighting, so it was hard to book. And I don't know the inner details, but I've only heard from stories and things like that this is sort of what killed the first season.
Fair. The one thing I'll say, and this is more of just a general like bitching session than anything else. You hear this in like all sorts of scenes of like, we had one fight at one event, and the venues all decided they didn't want to rock with this anymore.
Yeah, fuck you, venues.
Can we
like balls?
Well, even beyond that, how many times have you like? So I used to work at like the Abbotsford Center up there, which is a
a dicey neighborhood.
Well, it's a 5,000-6,000 seat venue, so like obviously like shit's gonna happen. You know what types of shows you see the most fucking fights at? Is country shows.
Folk music. I was gonna say
not even folk, like modern country, and like the reason for that is like a bunch of these dudes go there thinking they're gonna pick up chicks, and they get mad at other dudes who are also hitting on the same girls, and fights erupt. And yet, despite this being a continual fucking problem, you still have venues having no problem booking country shows. But the moment it's a rap battle where one fight happened 4 years ago, we can't book that. There's a liability issue.
somebody shoots one guy in the ass in Calgary, and all of a sudden, all the venues are like, we're not having this butt shooting around here.
No, I think you got it backwards. It's actually only one guy got shot at that in Calgary. Like, that's not enough gun violence for us, guys. We need more. This is like, that's amateur fucking hour.
For real. Come on. Get
The
those
last
numbers
time-
up. Those are rookie numbers.
The last time I did a show in Calgary, Renz was there with me, and this dude got ejected from the fucking bar because he was just being a total like asshole to everyone, and he like takes the pool cue out with him, and like, no, you have to give us the pool cue back. He's like, no, it's my pool cue, and this dude's drunk off his ass, and so he just starts trying to like drunkenly, yellingly spinning a yarn about how that pool cue has been in his family for 4 generations, and his dad fought in the, or his like great grandpa fought in the wars, and like blah blah blah. Then it's like,
Give him the pool cue.
It eventually comes down to the phrase, and I swear to God, this was like the phrase he yells: "My dad died for this pool cue." and at that point, like we're watching, like my buddies and I were watching, like, Doc, what the fuck do you even say to that?
Give him
like,
the pool cue. Give the man the pool cue.
Yeah, like
He's
at that
earned it
point,
at
you
this
know what?
point.
Just like let him fucking have it, because this guy's nuts.
I'll give him another one. Honestly, take 2. Never come back.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, Calgary, we love you. We love you, Calgary. We'll definitely.
Absolutely. But the problem is there's certain dorks who, as soon as I mention any joke about Calgary, oh boy, I'm suddenly anti-Alberta.
I'm staunchly anti-Alberta. What are we? Is there a debate about that? I didn't know that this was a dicey issue.
Yo, it is. Oh man, and the thing is, like, I know that dork is gonna see this, so I'm just sort of,
Oh yeah, dorks.
Yeah, you're a dork, bro.
Listen,
you're
BC,
a dork.
It's BC and Alberta over everything. Fuck the East. Fuck America. Fuck everybody. It's BC and Alberta. We're the West brothers. We're together. But if it's BC and Alberta,
yeah, if it's BC versus Alberta, it's fuck Alberta. If it's BC and Alberta, it's okay, cool. If it's Canada versus the United States, like, yo, Ontario, we love you. Yeah, absolutely. Facts. I get it.
So yeah, we love you, Alberta, unless it's just you and me, and then you're fucking dead. So that's how we do. Bong bong is right, Dan. You fucking know what's up. Fuck BC. Oh yeah. Let's do it. Let's take it to the streets. And by the streets, I mean, let's have a Battlerap event where the outcome is subjective.
Absolutely. God, one of the things that's always so fun is when like what is BC and Ontario guys were like, because like I find like Vancouver and Ottawa get along a lot better, but like Toronto guys take themselves so seriously, and Vancouver just doesn't. Like, as far as our Battlerap community. So we'll be like, yo, you sure suck. You sure suck a dick there, eh, bud? And then the Toronto is like, we don't joke about that here.
They don't joke about that. They don't joke over there. It's real shit. Yeah, no, I think we're all the same. Everybody thinks that they're the best, and the truth is, the real truth is, it's only us.
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is like all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. This is all the stuff that we had to talk about, except G-Show versus Chronic Walters dropped on Set the Bar this week, and there's a bunch of great drops on Set the Bar. Young Crumpet's got a battle on there. I think APOS has a battle on there that I really like.
Yeah.
I think it's about it.
Shine 9. Yeah, Shine 9 has a battle that you sort of like.
You don't need to watch that. You don't need to watch that. Yo. Tense hosting battles. Yo, we got to talk about that too. We'll talk about that too.
Best friend Apex, let's go.
Apex, I love Apex. I have enormous respect for him. But if you
I love that too.
The tense was the best thing about the battle, then we're just not on the fucking.
Yeah, the 10 was great. Like, I don't know what you're like.
The funniest part was how long it took to set up. Because I knew the punchline as soon as I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the funniest part is like Dan's trying to figure it out, and
amazing.
Like my friend Lindsay pops in and goes into like mom mode. Like, let me help you set up this.
That's for this one bar, for this one antic. The longer it took, the better it was. It was so wonderful. And yo, let me just put this right here, straight to the camera. Amazing work. this guy Dan, if you don't know, Dan's Mad Again. You got to check him out. Dan's Mad Again.
Solid debut. Great debut.
One of the best debuts I've ever seen. Just a full understanding conceptually of what is needed to happen in the battle to entertain people, the culture, everything. He's got a real good understanding. It's not like a rookie who comes in, you're like, oh, we need to fucking work on some shit. Just killed it. I loved it, start to finish. Huge fan. Definitely go check that out. And
Absolutely.
Happy birthday to the go. Let's go.
That's but yeah, no, Apex out here, like I don't know why you don't like Tense hosting battles. Tense hosting battles would be great.
The ideal. It's the fucking promoters hosting battles all the time. It's ruining things.
Yeah, absolutely. What the fuck are we doing? Holy shit.
This is a little house. This is a little house with a moon on top of it. This is quite an emoji. That means war where I'm from. You don't know BC slang. You don't know BC emoji slang.
Yeah.
Little house with a moon.
You can't call someone a goof.
Right?
Canadians,
yes.
You can't call someone a goof. BC slang is you can't say the moon is over your house. That's
right.
Fucked up, bro.
Wow, I can't believe it. We might get demonetized just because you said that.
Brutal. It's brutal.
But it's a tent. Listen, what I wanted to say before I rudely interrupted myself is G-Show versus Chronic Walters is really great. You know, I've been booking Chronic Walters for a long time back when I was booking people. And, you know, just a great pen, one of the best pens in the community, in the fucking region where we're at. And super fun to listen to, and a rapper's rapper. And G-Show is, of course, one of the greatest all-time facts. Just astounding. His second round is so funny, so fire. Everything hits.
The bronzing session, yeah, that was so good.
It's like, you know, it's like the things that we were talking about Shuffle T is like G-Show does this really well. This incisive, you know, sarcastic humor, this really like biting sarcasm. It's he's extremely talented. And then the third round is obviously just a beautiful piece. Just a really
absolutely, it was great.
Just such a wonderful explanation of sort of the stuff that he's been going through and
Apex.
Facts.
True.
Tens and tens.
You know who really stole the style though was Alberta with the Jesse J shed, the shed in the shack.
The shack. Well, you have the warehouse, which is not particularly.
I mean, the warehouse is a little bit different. I'll say that. I think the warehouse was dope. I actually really liked the aesthetic of warehouse.
You are the only person.
You know why that works so? Because I'm the one making the decisions.
we do a good job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we do a good job out here.
No, shout out to Apex though. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was
gonna get texted out here.
I finally got to fucking I've been up to Toronto a bunch and we've never had schedules linked like the events I've been at he hasn't, etc. etc. It was dope to finally fucking meet him day 2. And it was funny because a couple of peaceful guys were like, you guys were making fun of each other a couple of years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's battle rap, but it's all love when we see each other. It's great. Like there's not gonna be problems, are there? No, there's
besides Apex was trash back then. So you deserved it.
Nah, it's all love. I got love for Apex, man. That's it. That dude's killing it.
He's the champ. He's the fucking champ.
Absolutely.
Gotta respect it. But yeah, what else do I want to say about G-Show and Chronic Walters? G-Show's so funny, good. So good. Oh yeah,
Chronic killed it too, man.
I know that I was talking at the Stay Forever event after day 2 when all the battlers were in the hotel in the lobby and we were just sort of chilling, kicking it. The source was ignoring me. This is wise. And then I was talking to Ilmac, and you know, the conversation was, I wasn't talking directly to him. I was in a circle of people, and the conversation was, hey, there's no real Asian battlers who are going to take up the mantle after Jin and Dumb. And you know, I mean, A-Class is super dope. He's in out here a bunch of times. So I don't think it's important to remember his contributions to the culture. But G-Show, I said, you know, hey, there's this guy G-Show where I'm from, and he's fucking amazing, and you'll love him. And so I was waiting for the battle to drop so I could tag Ilmac. And then when I did, I was like, oh, you know, I'll just fucking throw his verse tracker in there and he can watch all the G-Show battles. And I put the verse tracker link in there. And the picture that comes up is of G-Show in his battle versus T-Roy. which is
wow.
right, the one that he did that was actually on the watch, the Ruin Your Day watch. So Ilmac's already seen it. So he sees the post and he sees me linking this thing that he's already seen. He's like, "Oh yeah, I remember that guy." I'm like, "Oh fuck."
Oh no!
And poor G-Show is probably like wants to forget that battle entirely, and here I am saying, "Hey, Ilmac, watch this. This is G-Show. He's my friend." So,
oh, that's unfortunate because I feel like if Ilmac watched one of G-Show's more recent ones, like he would fuck with him. But
totally, and hopefully that those lines of communication are still open. Maybe G-Show can get a GTX or something like that when he feels up to traveling. But we just, here at Bodycast, enormous love for G-Show, and
absolutely,
and really great battle. You definitely have to check it out. We'll put it in the subscription below. So subscribe as well. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. Subscribe, as well as like we also dropped an incredible body in this fellow Kid Savage getting absolutely demolished.
I gotta stop you right there. I don't think that he bodied you that badly. I really don't think that. I think you did okay.
Fair. Yeah, no, it was a fun battle, man. I had a lot of fun with that one. That was
it's great that you get to like you get him out of retirement, and he seems really motivated. And I know that you've been sort of like hungry for a battle. This felt like a real battle. So
it was sort of a weird one because like I was like super fucking hungry, and like I was like publicly saying like, "Yo, whoever wants me, like I'm fucking outside for this card. Like who wants it?" And then Savage was the guy who took it up. I'm like, "All right, cool, let's battle Savage."
Amazing.
And then I had some like life shit happen. I'm like, okay, I'm only gonna or not half right, but like I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna have the usual time, but I'm like, I fell into this groove. I'm like, yeah, all right, I don't need the normal time. So it was super weird for me because like the prep for this one felt super fucking awkward, but it ended up like it worked out. So
it works out.
Yeah,
it works out.
It was good.
And the new event is on a new venue. Very excited for that.
Yes.
And see how that transpires.
God, motherfuckers have been giving me shit because we've got Path versus Ellipsis at this one, right. And the venue is called the Railway Club, and everyone's giving me shit for this. I'm like, I hate all of you.
So we'll see. Railway Club, this is an audition for you. We'll see whether or not Battlerap works for whether you work for Battlerap.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think like it's not going to be a long-term thing either, given like how we're currently growing. You know what I mean?
Exactly. I was just going to bring that up. Is like the tickets are selling, the events are packed. It feels like you really got a good economic momentum for Set the Bar right now.
Yeah, exactly. And if we can keep growing, like we want to make this sort of a true like community thing. And
what does that mean?
As in like something that like a lot of people are pushing together as a community to like, we want to grow and we want to see people coming out.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that's like once you generate that momentum, when these events are no longer myself and the battlers being like, "Hey, come watch us perform," and it's people who aren't battling are like, "Yo, these events are really cool. Come out." And we've started to see that happen in the last few events, where people who have nothing to do with like any of the planning process or any of the battles are bringing friends out like, "Yo, you gotta see this." I'm hoping that just continues to snowball.
It will, as long as we keep booking the best in the West. Are we reading the things? Oh, we're fighting. It's Apex versus Dan's Mad again in the comments.
Oh, let's go.
Hylas Robo got really famous with Pokemon and TikTok, I think. So he just stopped doing Battlerap.
Is that actually a thing?
I'm pretty sure. But
wow.
I wouldn't take. Listen, we got to end this show. We're way over time.
Just let you have time limits. Who cares, bro?
It's been an amazing show.
This is Vancouver Battlerap. We don't care about time limits. Look at Ellipsis.
Oh, mercy. But thanks for everybody for tuning in. That's all for this week. Remember to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, join the Discord link in the sidebar. Also, we will put Set the Bar Entertainment links in the description of the YouTube video. And go check them out. Join the group. There's a Set the Bar group on Facebook. There's a whole sort of memes, stuff, me eating burgers half finished. It's a bunch of crazy bullshit.
Yo, that is still the most bizarre shit I've ever seen, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And yeah, I mean, do you have anything that you want to plug? Follow Mike on Instagram, Twitter.
The quick plug link is check out me versus Kid Savage on Set the Bar. That was fun. I just dropped a new song 2 days ago. Stream This If You're Not a Goof, which phenomenal name.
You really named it that?
Oh, I actually named it that. Yeah, it was great.
Yo, there's only one thing I have to say about that. 10 up.
Yeah, 10's up, absolutely. And then make sure you follow and subscribe to Set the Bar on Twitch.
Cool.
Twitch.tv/setthebarend.
We'll put all those links in there. Thanks, Mike, for jumping in today. It was really dope having you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And fucking, we'd love to have you back whenever. Because
sounds good.
It's the best. And we need some Sinatra to finish. Let's go. Sing us out. And did it my way. Hey.
Nailed it.